I mean, I think Fnatic for them break out their dive comp again because it was still working so well for them. I think maybe the last point of Gibraltar was just kind of a faux pas kind of thing, and Liquid really just turned it on, and it wasn't necessarily a fault of their own. I think the dive comp works well for them, and you know, we could be seeing it again. Of course, first they will be on the defense, but you know, when we go to the offensive side, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw it.
The last point of Gibraltar is a difficult one to take, so
yeah,
it might actually be. I mean, it's hard to say whether Liquid is becoming used to the kind of dynamics of the dive comp, and that's why they were able to hold there on the last point after being pressed with it so long, or if it's just the nature of the map itself, or perhaps, you know, circumstances of just somebody getting the right pick at the right time. We're definitely going to see Fnatic's defensive capabilities here as they are starting out on the defensive side of Kings Row. Team Liquid starting out on offense. Fnatic right now looking like they have a Mei. Saw Complexity use that quite effectively earlier today on this map. Bud's playing Reaper, Stoop back on Reinhardt. Well, never really left Reinhardt.
Well, yeah.
Cool Matt on Roadhog.
Yeah.
Custa on Ana this time instead of Zenyatta. Interesting. Always interesting. Never mind. There we go. Right back to Zenyatta.
Well,
every single time I say it, it goes back to Zenyatta.
Yeah, as we were saying before, he's really quite the fan of playing Zenyatta. I mean, he's done it pretty much all day today, if I'm not mistaken.
Makes a lot of sense in the current meta with Roadhog and Soldier 76 being able to heal themselves. You can kind of make up that lack of healing from Ana, along with just, again, we've talked about it before, the strength. 4 tanks here on Team Liquid's side. Discord's going to come and play huge on this part of the map.
Charges in right away, getting shut down by Cool Matt, though. He had the bubble to boot, but no, Cool Matt, look at this, 2 for him off the start. Eventually being finished off by ID, but still, this guy came up with 2 pretty big picks for Fnatic here. But if Liquid can regroup quickly and work their way in, they might have a shot because they do have that respawn advantage, and Cool Matt's got a long way back.
But Rafa going down very late there, staggered that. Kind of freeing up Fnatic from that one problem they had with Cool Matt being out. Vonethil going back to speed boost Cool Matt back into the fight to make sure they got up there a little bit faster. Great Lucio play there. Something you see somewhat often when time allows. Mezzer starting to push directly on the corner of this fight. Liquid looking for an angle in against Zenyatta.
Ooh, here they go, pushing their way in. Halfy starts it off, takes down Mezzer, and now it is Fnatic getting 3 of their players shut down as AZK goes off on the Roadhog. And it is the Transcendence coming out from the side of Fnatic. Custa trying to have his team hang on to this point as long as possible. And now the Nano Boost from the hang is going to go off there, and he has just taken Custa to town, landing all of those shots. And he is going to help Liquid get onto this point, get some time down. They at least have the first tick, and a good biotic grenade is going to land onto the players of Fnatic. Self-destruct out, and Earth Shatter is going to put Vonethil onto the ground. Mezzer charging him into the wall. See you later. Liquid now picking up 3. There's no way Fnatic's going to be able to hold onto this one, I don't think, as Liquid looking pretty strong there, grabbing up this first point with 2 minutes.
Vonethil getting charged to Hong, sleeping Cool Matt's Roadhog, taking out 2 key players, key heroes on the first point, enabling them to take that. 4 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Liquid looking strong so far. AZK almost with a whole hog. Zarya with Graviton. Minstrel very close to his sound barrier. And a fight coming out of the first choke point here after the first point on Kings Row. Fnatic playing a little bit farther back than we saw in the Complexity battle.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be Liquid working their way back in here. They have the whole hog ready to go. Earth Shatter comes out, and here comes the whole hog from Cool Matt as he is just blasting away at these guys here. It is Bud's able to pick up 2 as he was in the back, just firing away at those players on the ground. The sound barrier was used from Minstrel, but he already had 2 players out of the fight. And it is Fnatic holding on here. And they are looking pretty solid, and they have 3 ultimates to their name as well. Vonethil, Custa both have it. Bud's with Attack Visor. 2 big support ultimates at their disposal for when this Nano Boost comes in on the side of Liquid.
Also with a Tranquility on Custa. Able to hold quite a bit as long as Biotic doesn't land on the members of his team inside that Tranquility. being forced off the card here. Liquid starting to rebuild, and Tranquility coming out on the side of Fnatic.
Stoop was pulled in, and he had, oh, look at that, finished off by Mezzer. Pulled in and got the biotic grenade on him. Beautiful combination. Mezzer getting nano boosted, charges Buds into the wall as well. That's 2 for him so far on this fight. AZK is taken out by Happy Cool, but that self-destruct is going to land right on top of the cart, forcing everybody out of the way. And Mezzer's still going to town back there as he's able to take care of Custis, so it is still Cool Matt in by himself, but finished off quite quickly as Liquid able to get a pretty solid push off there, and they will continue to cruise. What are you up with ultimates at the moment? ID is slowly building his way towards a Graviton Surge, and Minstrel is going to have a sound barrier in a little while, probably not for this next fight.
So far, seeing a lot of the same dynamics from Gibraltar come out on the side of Team Liquid. They're getting a lot of ults dumped on them by Fnatic just now. Persisted anyways. Another fight coming out here. Shield game taking place. Stoops on the cart. Mezzer. Rafa getting pulled in, but he flies away with a shield on him.
Just poking back and forth at each other. Stoop is... he was looking to work his way in. I did hear a hook come out from Cool Matt, and now the charge. Buds finishing off Rafa as he was ejected from his suit, and Cool Matt is in the thick of things. Graviton is going to come out, and Cool Matt is trying to keep himself alive as long as he can. The nano boost as well will fly out there along with the sound barrier. Liquid using a lot of ultimates here, and AZK able to clean up on 2. Vonethil in the end crushed. That is Liquid. Solid push. And Happy Cool still in there, but he will be staggered quite greatly. I mean, they pull him in here. They honestly, when that kind of thing happens, you can just leave him, just let him sit for an extra few seconds. Why not? You can stagger him further. You don't need to immediately kill him there. He's by himself. But they decide to take him out quite quickly. Regardless, he was staggered, so Fnatic is going to have to reposition for this fight. Happy Cool has joined them yet again, and here comes the whole hog in the back. A lot of that getting eaten up by Rafa. It's Cool Matt couldn't really find all that much with it, but it doesn't matter. Fnatic is going to clean up on a couple. Buds, Custa among the players. Liquid has to back themselves up. And they do still have 2 minutes and 15 seconds, folks, to work with. So a decent bit of time, and Fnatic actually playing very aggressive forward. But look how many ultimates that they have on the side of Fnatic. There's a lot for them to work with on this defense.
5 and Cool Matt building his rather quickly. Given the rest of them, he'll probably be able to break out a whole hog in the middle of the next fight.
Here we go. There is a Graviton Surge out. There was the self-destruct. Rafa, AZK able to find 2. Buds striking back on his own, though. 2 more picks. It is a one-man advantage for Fnatic, which is quickly negated by AZK, who finds 2 big ones there on the card, and he goes for the whole hog. Shut down. Oh, here comes the nano boost off onto AZK, though, as he starts wreaking havoc. Pulls Happy Cool as the baby diva, and he will just dispatch of him quite quickly. And it is Liquid rolling now. 1 minute and 25 left. Fnatic is getting their respawns to try and contest this card a little bit. Stoop wants to move on in there. 2 support ultimates up for Fnatic, so they have a lot of gusto to keep themselves alive during this next fight. They just got to coordinate them properly. Pulling in Cool Matt as AZK is on a tear right now. Just finding picks left and right. Stoop, Happy Cool, both combining 4 picks as the self-destruct comes in on the side of Fnatic, so they will hold Liquid off, force them to back up. And there is still Rafa on the point in there, but he will be taken care of. So Fnatic holding on for now. 50 seconds left for Liquid.
Stoop playing very far forward. 2 to 3 of the back line of Team Liquid. He will go down for his efforts, though. He needs to get up back in the fight very quickly as Liquid is approaching the final point, trying for the final push. 42 seconds left on the clock. If they are able to get this cap, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Fnatic, perhaps taking the entire set off of them.
Here we go. There is a sound barrier out. Bud's trying to come around on the backside to use that tack visor. Some of it being shut down by the diva. Can't really find a good position to use much of it, and there is a nano boost from Dahang out onto AZK, and here comes the savagery from Liquid, just picking apart Fnatic one by one. They're looking good to cap this off with just about 10 seconds left. You really want to get it before it goes into overtime. There's no one around from Fnatic to contest, and they will get it done with 8.1 seconds. They'll get a little bit of time back in their bank when they go for their second half, but getting it done in the end, that's what counts for Liquid. You see the replays here, that whole hog from AZK shoving Custa down into the pit. He was able to get Cool Matt, and a little assist with the hook as well to finish off Vonethil, but still, Liquid getting it done. We'll see what Fnatic decides to come out with on their offense. We were discussing a possibility of some sort of a dive comp. that is, they have it at their disposal. Off the start here, we see Happy on Pharah, and I wouldn't be too shocked if he decided to stay on this. Because, I mean, Happy is a great projectile DPS player, and I wouldn't be astonished if he stayed. We'll have to see. They may decide to switch it up in the end, but they certainly have the player to do it.
We've already seen it today. We've talked a little bit about the shield game, back and forth. Reinhardt's making sure their barrier is up, trying to trick the other Reinhardt into dropping an Earth Shatter and block it back and forth. Now Pharah, pretty good impact on that kind of situation, finding angles, staying on the ground, just soaking the shield with rockets as long as they don't get absorbed by D.Va. D.Va causing a lot of problems for Pharah, even if D.Va doesn't intend to, can absorb a lot of the shots. That can always be a big problem, but as long as Pharah stays on the ground, looks to just soak with that clip, reloads when the team fight starts, boosts into the air, provide that same kind of effect that Tracer and Genji have, where you have to try and worry about all these different angles that are going on. You get shots in over your barrier, into your back line. If Pharah stays cool, there's just so many different angles coming out. Looks like Fnatic, hard to, not going to pull the trigger on this being a lineup yet. A Winston, no Reinhardt whatsoever. Offie switching to Genji. Coolmat switching to D.Va. Okay. Bud's coming out on Tracer. All right. Still running. We are going with a dive comp here, as expected from Fnatic. Liquid going to have to hold strong.
Here we go. I like it. Let's see as they start to work their way in. Using this dive comp worked well for them on Hollywood, but 2 players going down already as Liquid hunt down the supports, and Happy Cool among the victims of Liquid. Crushing these guys, they attempt to push in. Look at this, they're staggering Coolmat. This is what you want to do right here. So far, just letting him sit there, he's not doing any harm. Eventually kill him, but that's good. It buys you a few extra seconds. You pair that up and do it multiple times over the course of the game. It can add up in time and make a difference.
Can definitely add up. Coolmat just now respawning. Fnatic putting together their second push on the first point here on King's Row. In the second map of the semifinals, Fnatic versus Team Liquid. The winner of this moves on to the finals to face against Cloud9.
This dive comp can be hard to do against Quad Tank, which Liquid is running, but so far they are making it work, at least on this push. And Minstrel, who got lit up by Buds, eventually finished off, so things really looking solid for Fnatic now. As they completely wipe them off of this point, they will get the first tick and inevitably get this full cap here as well. Liquid is going to have to go back into the streets phase and get set up, and Fnatic's got a decent bit of ultimates to work with here.
Fnatic leaving 2 on the cap to take care of that, pushing 4 forward to press back on Team Liquid. Stoop getting pulled. Fnatic's going to have to back off.
Getting a little bit too aggressive there from Stoop, and now Liquid wants to get themselves up to the choke point, make sure they aren't getting too much cart time for free.
Happy almost going down to that sleep dart with a lot of the follow-up from Team Liquid. Dahong hitting him on the escape. Hoffy staying alive, though, thanks to the Orb of Harmony from Custa. 3 ults. Pulse Bomb out. No dice on that one. Transcendence coming out of Custa.
Here we go, they are battling it out on the cart. Happy Cool, Coolmat, both able to get some, and it is the sound barrier out from Vonethil as he is going to hunt down Mezzer to clean up, and that is Fnatic with a solid push here so far. 2 picks in their favor. Liquid is not going to be able to hold on here, and then eventually finishing off Minstrel. A well-coordinated push from Fnatic, working their way through the streets phase. 4 minutes for them to get to the second point. They're certainly doing pretty good in the time department here.
Definitely. Along with the ultimate economy starting to tip back into Team Liquid's favor. 4, almost 5 on the side of Liquid. That's going to be a hard thing to get through even with a dive comp. AZK pressing the whole hog to push back. Fnatic getting prodded up into Graviton.
Graviton ID throws that one out onto the field. Coolmat, though, is able to negate most of the damage that was coming forward on his team, so they didn't find much. And in fact, he's able to get 2. AZK and Mezzer, he may finish those guys off as a baby D.Va as well. I'm not completely sure, but nonetheless, he picks up 2 picks. ID gets the nano boost as he's on the cart just trying to melt whoever he can, and he finds 2 at the right click. And that will allow Liquid to hold on here. Decent bit of ultimates invested. Oh, Vonethil gets finished off at the end too by Dahang. Decent bit of ultimates invested from both sides, but Liquid will have the Earth Shatter from Mezzer and the self-destruct for Rafa. As far as Fnatic goes, they'll soon be coming up on the Transcendence Dragon Blade, and they already have the Pulse Bomb ready to go as well. So Fnatic sticking tight on this dive comp. They slowly start to move that cart up through the streets phase. Liquid wants to make sure that they don't want to invest everything that they have to hold this card here necessarily. Look at this. Earth Shatter comes out though. Mezzer able to get both of the supports. That is huge. I think he was hiding and was able to get that off. He was out in the alleyway, which is a massive play from Mezzer. And now Stoop and Cool Matt striking back. Stoop actually getting 2 here on Winston. And they are still scrapping on the cart, but Cool Matt is off by himself, getting back into his suit. He wants to finish off Mezzer, who gets the charge off onto him. Bud's helping his teammate out though. It's a bro-ment there. The bro moment so far, making sure he didn't get charged into the wall. Custa on the cleanup crew, and now they finally get this second point. 1 minute and 55 seconds to go for them, and they'll add a little bit more on since they do cap at 3 minutes and 20.
3 minutes and 20 should be enough for Fnatic to make it around this final bend. The faster they do it, the more time advantage they will have over Team Liquid when this goes into effectively the overtime of the map. Self-destruct coming out, Transcendence on the side of Fnatic.
Gus is using it, making sure Stoop stays healthy, and the sound barrier from Minstrel as well as they just press forward. And the counter sound barrier, and now a lot of ultimates being expelled, and the Earth Shatter out from Mezzer. He has the nano boost on himself as well. Couldn't quite clean up on all of that, but it is 2 down on the side of Liquid. Fnatic is finding their rhythm here. Rafa getting ejected from his suit, finished off easily by Happy Cool as he was wreaking havoc in that fight.
Coffee, Buds, Stoop, all moments away from ultimates. The only ultimate on the side of Team Liquid is AZK's Whole Hog. While that can push everybody back with area denial, with D.Va there, it can all get soaked up. Fnatic looking good to take the final point here against Team Liquid.
Whole Hog from AZK as they speed boost forward, pushing all of Fnatic back. They did get Vonethil, and here comes the Dragon Blade from Happy Cool as he tries to finish off Mezzer. Indeed, he'll be able to as he runs back in there. The self-destruct is on the cart. Will zone him out for just a moment. Getting pulled back in, though. AZK shuts Happy Cool down on his reign of terror. AZK still doing work on the cart. Finishing off Stoop. He'll heal up and just push the rest of these guys on back. Nothing that Fnatic can do. Still 1 minute and 50 left. Time is starting to tick a bit, though.
Well defended there by Team Liquid. I've got a question. Really, I'm curious why Fnatic is still running both D.Va and Winston. Winston makes sense in the dive comp, but the ability of Zarya to pair up with Genji and Tracer along with the Zenyatta we've talked about before already, really missing that Graviton to make those pulse bombs work.
Oh, the pulse bomb from Buzz landing onto Mezzer. That is a huge pick to start things off. Transcendence in from Custa, and there's the Graviton Surge out from ID. It doesn't matter. Cool Matt is able to go beast mode on them. 3 picks. Bud's able to clean up, takes down ID, and Happy Cool as well is going to play a big part in that fight. And now Fnatic really looking strong. Liquid's got to get back out there onto the cart. Happy Cool press forward to see if he can keep these guys at bay a little bit longer while the rest of his team caps. Sound barrier from Minstrel as the rest of Team Liquid trying to get their way back onto the point. Self-destruct. Cool Matt able to get ID with that one. Happy Cool cleaned up. AZK, they're still battling on the cart. Another self-destruct. Cool Matt is finding Minstrel as well. A big support pick, the Dragon Blade from Happy Cool as he just runs around and they're slicing and dicing. And there is still back and forth frags. Fnatic is on the cart. Nonetheless, Cool Matt is in there with Custa, Vonethil, and company in the back. And now the sound barrier in from Vonethil as they want to try and seal the deal on this. 30 seconds left for them to cap, and things are still looking quite good. Stoop is just blasting these guys. And Minstrel in the back will be finished by Stoop as well. That's a 3K on this cart for him, but the players from Liquid keep filtering out. They need to wipe them in succession to make sure that they're able to continue to move this cart. Great from Liquid to keep bodies on it though, so they can't. Doesn't matter though. Fnatic is finally getting the picks that they need to move forward, but they have a Mei out there now. It's gonna be tough to continue to push forward. She can stall for a while. Fnatic finding 4 in total. There's only a couple guys up from Liquid. They just got their spawns. They can't get to the cart in time. That was a long and drawn-out fight, but Fnatic in the end able to get it just barely.
Only an 8-second difference here on the final map of the series again of Fnatic versus Liquid. Everything is tied up, not only in the series, but in the map here we see Buds doing work on Tracer, something we praised him for already in this tournament. just harassing the backline, taking out D.Va. That is pivotal.
Well, it's going to be 1 minute and 8 seconds for Liquid. 1 minute for Fnatic. It is down to the wire here, man. This is tied up 1-1 in this best-of-3 series. The winner of this map will go on to the finals to try and play for a spot in the group stage. So this is a very important game for them. They will be playing up against Cloud9 if they can manage to seal the deal here. So we'll see what they're working with on the defense. Pretty standard from Liquid. They actually have the quad tank going yet again to make sure that they can keep that beefy defense going. And Cool looking as if he'll go for that Sonic Arrow off the start, get some intel. They're not going to have too much time to work with. Actually, no, they're not going for the Sonic Arrow. They just want to.
Bud's locking go dive right Widow. That looks like it's here to stay. We talked before about the zoning power of Widow on this first point. Keep an eye on Buds to see exactly how that works out. Never mind switching to a Tracer in the very last moments. Actually, perhaps right after the timer started. Buds trying to get it on the side. Looks like he does have some openings on Dahong. Cool Matt being pressed back. Rafa on the side being a little bit isolated. Cool Matt and Hoffy trying to take out AZK. AZK will go down.
Here we go. Buds is still running around. He's able to find Minstrel in the end. ID is also hurting here. He's all by himself. No, does have the D.Va alongside him. Rafa, he's sucking up a lot of that damage, but here's Liquid. They've gotten all the picks that they need to hold off Fnatic for now, and they will have 20 seconds. They need to regroup and get a push going. Now, they did get a couple of picks, so if they can make this move quickly, yes, look, Liquid's going to back off here, give them some room. They need to make sure they have all 6 players. Now Liquid looking to re-engage as they come back in with all of their team ready to go. And no, Custa dying right off the start there. That is not good news on the side of Fnatic. AZK gets Cool Matt as well. 3 players picked up for Liquid, and now Fnatic is being shut down on this first point. They'll have to delay for a long time and get a few picks here, but oh no, they need someone to stand on the point. Buds isn't around. He was going back to get a health pack. That's disastrous for Fnatic. He probably would have died anyway if he would have stayed in, but there it is. Fnatic not going to be able to get that first point. Now it's up to Team Liquid.
Just 1 minute and 8 seconds for Team Liquid to attempt to assault the first point here to take a victory over Fnatic in this series. Fnatic still running, probably the tank comp, I think we can assume. Great play you pointed out there with AZK and the rest of Liquid, or sorry, just Liquid in general, backing off away from the point, allowing themselves to regroup, to press back onto it, to defend it as one man, or as one team. Fnatic still picking 2 of their heroes.
When you get those picks on offense that Fnatic had, the respawn for Liquid is so far away, so they traded players around similar times, right? And then Fnatic, they know that they have that respawn advantage. Liquid guys are going to be pretty far away, so when Fnatic gets those respawns, they want to push as quickly as possible. And Liquid knows that they have the respawn disadvantage, so they know that they got to back off through that choke point. That's exactly what you saw there. They re-engaged and took the fight with all 6 of their players and were able to stop it. So here it is. Team Liquid in control of their destiny right now. They have to win this first point in under 1 minute and 8 seconds, or with 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Trying to hold against a 3 tank. Sorry, other way around. 4 tank comp trying to press into a 3 tank comp.
And look like they want to go in through this hotel side. No, they're going to come straight back out from the statue side of the point. Rafa already in, just dishing damage out to Cool Matt. Rafa was slept, but he'll pick himself right back up. They're just poking a lot at the moment. Mezzer charging in, nobody around for him to take care of, and he actually got a biotic grenade put onto him. I'm not sure if he'll survive much longer. Mezzer ends up going down. They trade out with Cool Matt. At least the respawns from Liquid are starting to come through here, though, but Fnatic holding strong on the point. AZK's stuck out no man's land by himself. He's in a little bit of trouble here, just getting melted by Buds, landing all of those headshots, but Liquid 15 seconds to get back in now. They have the whole hog from AZK. He's going to get the nano boost as well, trying to just blast these guys back. He gets hooked in, takes down Stoop actually as he was in that nano boost. And now Liquid's got themselves onto the point at least. Fnatic's going to have to come right back out here strong. Cool Matt was finished in the middle of the fight. Self-destruct. AZK gets taken down by Happy Cool. Self-destruct. Fnatic really needs to come up big now. Another self-destruct will be out. They gotta hide. Buds goes down by Rafa, and that self-destruct still battling on the point here as Fnatic is getting their respawns in and Liquid is looking a bit iffy. The sound barrier comes out now. The Graviton Surge as well. Not going to find all that much. Stoop is getting two, though. Fnatic finally starting to come out on top of it. There's only 3 players up for Liquid. They need to get back onto the point, and quickly Minstrel goes down. Fnatic holding on here. It's just Mezzer on the point. He's delaying as long as he can. Oh, I thought he got back on. Not quite. Fnatic making a big defense there, and that will see us a draw. Which is, oh my goodness. That is what you call some wild stuff there. Big defenses, clutch defenses in the final moments. Whew.
Yeah, man. What a close one there. This is we've seen the complete progression of maps here, the way everything could go. We have a dominant map from Fnatic, then Liquid comes out with the amazing hold in the win, and now a draw, which means we go to another map to decide this one because it's still tied up.
Yeah, we'll have to see one more of the tiebreaker to finish this off, and that game got my heart beating a little bit. That was it was exciting, but I'm excited to see even a tiebreaker map here. I mean, these guys have been back and forth.
In that last attempt there, I saw IID get a double shield out to counteract the self-destruct, putting up very high in power. I thought that might have been the writing on the wall there for Fnatic, but nope.
No, it wasn't. And I really like Liquid holding themselves together here. And Fnatic too, because it has been a chess match in this game. They've really been striking back and forth. One team will get some momentum, and then the other getting themselves right back into it. So it's been great to watch thus far. We'll see. They will be heading on to Ilios, I believe, as the tiebreaker map. I believe it is a point of Ilios. So it's going to come down to the wire, man. It's going to be some good stuff.
We still have yet. That was why they had to go to the tiebreaker, right? Because we didn't play Ilios, and we have to play Ilios, right?
Yeah. So we're this close.
We'll take another look at a Winston play here as he's able to pick up 3 on the side of Fnatic, I believe it was, who was running the dive comp. Very impressive stuff from them as they're able to hold on just when they were on the brink.
Yeah, Stoop was just really pulled off 3 or 4 kills here. He was just all over these guys. So the dive comp has been working pretty well for Fnatic. Couldn't get it done with the minute left on their push on King's Row, but still, I'm excited for Ilios here.
I'm still very curious why Fnatic wasn't running a Zarya to capitalize on the synergy they could get with Pulse Bomb. I mean, you can also just use the Pulse Bomb to exclusively take out things like Reinhardt, but when there's so many other tanks on the map, especially with a D.Va, it's not as huge as it used to be. Previously, in some other metas, you could just simply throw a Pulse Bomb with a little bit of extra damage from a Tracer, and a Tracer could knock out a Reinhardt, which would open up the rest of the plays, but right now, a lot of teams looking for kind of that cluster out of a Graviton to get a much greater bomb combo going off there. Really curious, just in general, why both a D.Va and a Winston. Both were playing well. We just questioned the synergy of it.
Yeah, no, it was interesting to watch them pull out that dive comp and stick with it the entire way through. We've been seeing teams pull out dive comps for the first point, but usually after they get their first wipe or something, they'll go and switch back to something else. And they stuck with that dive comp the whole way through.
And there's also the ability of Zarya to shield those forwards, like Tracer in that circumstance, which allows her to play so much more aggressively, knowing that somebody's got her back, along with Zenyatta throwing an orb on her. That's much tougher Tracer to deal with. Kind of harkens back to the days when Symmetra was just sort of around to buff the shields on characters like Tracer and Genji and let them go nuts. But those days are long since past. Going in here to Ilios.
This is going to be a best of 3, folks, on Ilios. So we do have a full map to play. It is going to be an exciting one at that. This is the decider to see who takes their spot to move into the grand finals to play against Cloud9 as both of these teams posture up onto the point as looking back and forth here. So far, charge comes in from Mezzer, and now Dehang able to start it off. 2 players lost right out of the gate from Fnatic. That's not what you want to see for them. And Liquid already having a brilliant start here. They will take the point first.
Fnatic, according to some people, I'm not going to throw people under the bus here, perhaps weaker on King of the Hill. They at least like to practice maps with firm control. The result of this in particular is definitely going to kind of bring the light exactly how well these teams will match up against Cloud9, as Cloud9 did take Ilios in their previous match. Expect to see them play it again.
Here we go, Earth Shatter out for Mezers. He's swinging away at guys on the ground here, and Vonethil's taken out as the Nano Boost is going to come out onto Mezer. He is just swinging away at guys out onto the point, and 2 picks, actually 4 in total, going the way of Liquid. So they are having a tough time, Fnatic. Get themselves back on it. 40% and counting on our first stage of Ilios here.
Buds sticking to the Reaper right now, trying to go up against the 4-tank combo from Team Liquid. The tank busting power is effective if you can get in there, with D.Va being able to shut him down so well. Looking to see if he's going to change off that anytime soon. We do see a Zarya come out of Cool Mat to reinitiate this next fight. Fnatic trying to take it to Team Liquid right now.
Stoop taken down right away. Happy Cool gets slapped, and it will be Buds just slashing away with those Hellfire shotguns, taking down AZK. And now Mezer is trying to take on Cool Mat, and will be a self-destruct out. Buds has the Nano Boost as well. He doesn't really have much room to work himself in there. There is a Graviton. Vonethil actually picking up 2 picks of his own. It's the Lucio show here. Minstrel yet finding one, and it is Buds easily able to take care of Rafa outside of his suit. And Fnatic getting themselves on the board here. Liquid with a great hold on the first point, though, 88% in their favor.
Hoffy.
Have to regroup, though. One thing to note about King of the Hill is if you, or control point, excuse me. One thing to note about it, though, if you don't get the point first, it is very hard to get back into it. Some of those ultimates can snowball. Oh, Reinhardt's.
Especially on Lighthouse out of Album.
Yeah, and now it is 2 picks in favor of Fnatic. This time they're having an easier time with the hold, and there goes Rafa flying off the cliff. And Fnatic continues to hold on. They also have 4 ultimates to their name, which is going to pay dividends for them, but Liquid also switching ID over to the Pharah.
One of the dynamics here of Ilios, Lighthouse in particular, huge choke points coming out. It can be very difficult to retake. Sound barrier coming out of Fnatic's side. Rafi in the back lines. So far, teams keeping up with the shield game. Mezer's going to go in with a Nano Boost.
Flying in, and now is going to be the beat drop as well.
Oh!
And, oh goodness, hello Happy Cool. That is a big self-destruct there, my friend. That is 3 big self-destruct indeed, and now Fnatic is continuing to hang on. They're swinging this right back around in their favor, man. Liquid started off strong. Now Fnatic is having a brilliant hold themselves. They had a lot of ultimates, and they used quite a few. Cool Mat still with the Graviton Surge at his disposal, and if you're on Liquid, you don't have all that much here. As you can see, a replay, the Earth Shatter into the self-destruct combo that has been so prevalent in this meta, and here we go, straight back into the fights, as getting sucked up into that Cool Mat Graviton Surge was players on the side of Fnatic, but it doesn't matter. Buds is cleaning up here, getting a couple himself and using the Death Blossom for a third. He'll continue to press forward. Back onto the point as ID was there. Tried getting the rocket barrage off. There's players trying to stall, but there's really not much they can do. Going to point was AZK just doing whatever he can. I don't know if they're gonna, I don't think they're gonna be able to get anyone back. Look at this stuffing Winston right back in there. That was Rafa, and the first point will go over to Fnatic.
Buds making Reaper work despite our questioning. Solo ulting Ana there at the end. With only 99% already on the clock, or basically already on the board. That's a well worth trade. Just burning an ult in order to make sure a healer can't get in, especially a healer as strong as DeHong's Ana can be. Moving into the second stage of Ilios here. If Fnatic is able to take this, they will take the entire series. Team Liquid looking to stay alive. They will need a victory here on Well. Lineups on either side. Bud staying with Reaper. Otherwise 3-tank comp. Reaper instead of Soldier 76. Soldier 76 is a little bit harder to work in King of the Hill, or sorry, Control Point, especially on maps like Well. Meanwhile,
still is it's so strong.
Team Liquid with 4.
They will have that 4-tank set up. It is very unusual to see the Reaper instead of the Soldier 76, who is just so strong.
Well, they're both
right
hard
now
to work in this situation.
Look at this, though. Mezer charging in, takes down Cool Mat. AZK grabs up Buds, and that is a great start for these guys. ID is going to get shut down. It's 2 down on the side of Liquid, 3 down for Fnatic. And Happy Cool is still sitting around on the point, trying to stall out Liquid from taking any control if he can help it, but it looks like in the end, Liquid will strike first on the well-phased Vilios.
Dahong with a long-range biotic there, opening up the kill on Bonifil. Rafa chasing it down. Hafi front-lining for Fnatic. Fnatic waiting for the rest of their team to catch up. Bonifil on his way in. They will push in here momentarily. Mezzer stepping up. Liquid definitely playing aggressive. Fnatic's gonna try and slip around the side. Another big fight starting to develop here.
Here goes Stoop, taking that bubble in from Zarya and just charging right on through. There will be an ultimate, the Earth Shatter out from Mezzer, but he will die right afterwards. AZK and Rafa able to avenge his teammate there, pick up back a couple of picks, and there's Bud's just pressing forward, shredding tanks apart. There is the hang there. He's quite hurt. We'll have to use Wraith form to get out of the way, but time is still just ticking away for Liquid, and there will be a nano boost out from Dahang as that will fall off onto ID as he just goes into full face melting mode. And Liquid holding tight. Buds does have a Death Blossom, but Liquid with the Graviton and Self-Destruct.
Nano boosted IAD managing to set back D.Va, causing Fnatic to waste even more time to try and retake this point. 62% on Liquid side, looking good to hold well.
There we go, Graviton in from ID, and Custo was able to get Rafa at least. The Self-Destruct from Rafa finds 3. That is big-time plays, a beautiful combination. Yet again, we've seen it day in and day out. And Liquid continuing to hold it here. Fnatic is going to have a few ultimates to come back onto this point with. In fact, it'll be support ultimates as well as Stoop's Earth Shatter. They're going to have to move quick, though.
Do you want to hold this point, Liquid? Because that's how you hold this point.
Yeah, that was some great stuff. They've put up a brilliant defense after holding it first. Mezzer's got that Earth Shatter, sending them down onto the ground. AZK immediately hunting Bonifil, and he pulls in Cool Matt, able to take care of him as well. Mezzer finds Stoop. Buds was the only one on the side of Fnatic that was able to pick up a frag, and Liquid here is holding on. They will send it to a third and final stage of Ilios to decide who goes on to the grand finals.
99%.
Oh my.
Zero.
That is
Zero.
Shellacking.
Liquid coming back strong. Interesting correlations. We've been talking about Fnatic being strong on defensive chokes. Lighthouse having some of the most strong defensive chokes out of the Ilios series, out of all King of the Hill maps, really. A control point maps. They took that one, gave up well. Now we're going to push into Ruins. A difficult map for both teams here. Fnatic, wouldn't surprise me to see some Tracer. We like to see that on, or we often see that on this map. Custa looking like he's locking in Zenyatta. He did play on a last match, did quite well on it, but eager to get back on Zarya, or to get back on Zenyatta. Cool Matt switching to Tracer as expected. Buds going Soldier 76. There's a lot of pressure on this. Buds can hang it in the back, fire over the top of those barriers while healing himself. Pretty interesting comp for Fnatic. Let's see if they can make it work.
Both teams posture up. This is a pivotal round for both these guys. The Reinhardt's charge again to no avail. And AZK just trying to regroup with his team here as both of them separate back onto their sides. And the point will be coming up in just a few seconds, so we'll see them battle it out for it. No picks as of yet. The health on the side of Liquid is not the best. They're getting themselves healed, but they have to be aware of that going into the fight. Fnatic they've got a decent bit of players down there on the point, and they are able to find the picks as well. The nano boost comes out onto ID as he just presses forward to hang. Is hurt back there. Buds finishes him off, and he'll just continue to chunk away at ID, who's able to clean up his wad. I think it's just Buds left onto the point here. No, here comes Lucio to the rescue, and the attack visor out from Buds as well. Rafa able to get in and deny a lot of that. The self-destruct as well. They're still battling it out for first guard here on this point. Buds is just doing work though. He's been surviving. He's sitting in the back relatively uncontested. Now Cool Matt coming in to finish him off, and finally Fnatic looking good to take the point first here on this first, or excuse me, our third stage this is of Ilios.
Originally raising an eyebrow at Buds breaking out Tac Visor against D.Va with their shield matrix up, but it ended up working. Team Liquid not even getting, well, they're getting very close to capping the first point. Fnatic holding it off, starting to build percentage points. They are going to play a little bit more defensively, something we've been talking about as one of their strengths. Cool Matt looking for an angle on the side. 3 ultimates on the side of Fnatic. Is looking tough for Liquid.
Earth Shatter, self-destruct potential at the ready for Fnatic. They have that. They have both of them. Happy Cool sending it in there. Was no Earth Shatter out yet, and didn't find anything with self-destruct. Just going to put them out of position. Doesn't matter. Cool Matt, man, he's just going to town in here. 2 picks for him already. He's looking to clean up on more. 3 for Cool Matt 69. Going off for Fnatic. That's big stuff. They didn't even have to invest many ults. They used nothing other than the self-destruct from Happy Cool. Cool Matt did all the work himself. I mean, cleaning up on a lot of the damage, granted, but they will still have 4 ultimates for Fnatic.
If they use those ultimates efficiently, they will be able to 99% this, or 100% this, I should say. Right now, Team Liquid working with 2 ultimates, burning one of them on the side of Fnatic. Ooh. Fnatic pushing in.
Oh, Stoop was trying to play a little bit cheeky and get the Earth Shatter off. Rafa, in the end, was getting the last lap, and Cool Matt comes to the rescue to pick up some, and Buds is content to just sit here and shoot at them from range, but may want to go in and help his team a little bit. They're getting picked apart. Now he jumps onto the point just as all of the players from Liquid come in. He's at least denying them a little bit of cap time, but in the end, Liquid is looking good to come back in and grab this point. They will start to tick away at it. Fnatic sitting at 80%.
Cool Matt surviving that. Pulse Bomb on hand, Tac Visor for Buds. Very close to another self-destruct for Happy Cool. Meanwhile, Team Liquid self-destruct of their own, getting very close to a Graviton. And now Fnatic pushing to reclaim this point. If they do, they will have a very good chance of capping it completely.
There we go. They have 3 ultimates at the ready. Tac Visor is going to go off from the side. Rafa immediately onto Buds as soon as he popped that, and Stoop will fall to the hang, and Rafa, excuse me, is able to get Custa. So Fnatic is getting picked apart here. Liquid going to be able to hold yet again, and it's just time for Fnatic to back up as the ultimates are building for Liquid at the moment. Fnatic used most of what they had and really didn't find too much with it, so now the ult advantage is going to swing right back around into Liquid. They're at 50% and counting.
Cool Matt jumping off there for the reset, trying to regroup with the rest of Fnatic to mount another push here on the point. 50% on Team Liquid's side. Times are not too tough yet. Fnatic losing Vonnegut.
Here we go, Rafa, Cool Matt, both going to exchange, and oh, look at this. Cool Matt is just doing work again on this final stage. He's going to throw that Pulse Bomb out, not getting anything, but he sees ID in his sights as he goes in to try and clean up. Minstrel, the only one on the point for Liquid at the moment, easily dispatched of. Fnatic going to get this point back. They have 80%. It's ticking upwards. Liquid is going to have probably just about one last chance to get this point back.
They'll take every second they can to make sure this last push is worth it, but they can't wait too long. Team Liquid on the ropes. Fnatic looking like they might be able to hold.
Go working their way, and they have the whole hog and an Earth Shatter. AZK going for that hook. That would have been huge if he could have gotten a pick to start things off here. There is a Transcendence on the side of Custa, trying to go in as AZK with this whole hog. He's blasting these guys all the way out of position, and he gets a hook onto the point as well. That was Diva, but ends up getting shut down. There's a self-destruct onto the point, I believe, and Mezer, Cool Matt both able to pick up some. Buds with the Tac Visor. I'm not sure if there's anyone there to contest. The hang is quite hurt. He is dishing out the damage. Cool Matt is cleaning up on most of it. Liquid looking good to take it, and indeed they will, sending themselves into the grand finals to face off against Cloud9. What a series. Down to the wire. You can't get any closer than that, my friends.